Welcome to Witches in Yoga Pants, your cozy corner of the cosmos where modern magic meets everyday life. We're here to explore magic, mindfulness, and personal growth with a grounded, no-fluff vibe. Whether you're into moon rituals, tarot spreads, or just trying to survive Mercury retrograde, you are in the right place. So get ready to disrupt some old patterns, explore what it means to reclaim your power, and remember who you really are. So pull up your yoga mat, light a candle, and let's get into it. Welcome back to Witches in Yoga Pants. Today we're talking about something that lives in a bittersweet space between love and loss, friendships and the seasons they move through. We don't often talk about friendships ending. We talk about heartbreak and romance, family estrangements, professional transitions, but when a friendship fades or fractures, we rarely give it the same space or language. Yet, the grief is real. Sometimes it's even more confusing because nothing bad happened. The energy just changed. This episode is about learning how to honor that change, about trusting that not every relationship is meant to last forever, and that endings don't erase the meaning. It's easy to resist this cycle. We're taught to believe that longevity equals success and that true friends should last forever. But nature doesn't work like that. Growth requires change. Leaves fall, tides shift, and seasons turn. So do relationships. Friendships have seasons. Some start bright and full of light. Everything clicks, and you can't imagine not having that person in your world. Some feel steady and familiar, just like they've always been there. And others begin to shift. You notice small changes. Things feel a little different. The connection just isn't quite the same. And eventually some just fade. It can sometimes feel dramatic, but really it's just life moving in cycles. Sometimes people come into our lives for a single purpose. They may be here to teach us something, to mirror something for us so that we can see it with greater clarity, or to awaken something inside of us. They may walk with us for years or months, or sometimes just a moment. Their presence still matters and the relationship still counts. So, why do we struggle to let go? Letting go sounds peaceful in theory. In reality, it's layered with fear, nostalgia, and conditioning. And if you're someone with an open spleen center in your quantum human design chart, this can be especially challenging. The spleen governs intuition, instinct, and the fear of letting go. When your spleen is open, you can have the tendency to hold on to people, habits, and even energy that's no longer healthy, simply because it feels safer than the uncertainty of release. You might feel a deep, loyal connection to friends who no longer meet you where you are. If you carry old wounds around loss or abandonment, those same fears can echo loudly. Endings might trigger that ancient ache, the one that makes you feel like if you let go, you'll be alone again. But connection isn't lost when it shifts. It just transforms. Sometimes the love that held two people together changes shape so that they can each grow in their own direction. It's evolution, not failure. I've come to believe that every relationship is an energetic agreement. We meet people who we're meant to meet. Sometimes we heal together, sometimes we learn boundaries, and sometimes we remember our worth. These may even be souls from past lives that we've made agreements with, and there's a purpose for the relationship beyond what we ever consciously know or remember. Think of the friend who taught you how to speak your truth, the one who reflected your strength back when you couldn't see it, the one who showed you what you no longer wanted to tolerate. Each served a purpose. And when that purpose completes, the relationship often begins to dissolve. That can happen quietly or dramatically, but underneath, it's the same spiritual current. The contract is fulfilled. And if we can see it in that way, even briefly, endings will start feeling less like rejection and more like release. Of course, not every friendship fades gracefully. Sometimes there's conflict, misunderstanding, or betrayal. Those endings can sting a little bit different. They can reopen old wounds about being misunderstood or not chosen. It's tempting to replay every conversation, to hunt for closure, to try to fix it. But closure doesn't always come from another person. Often it arrives in your own understanding. You can know, I did my best, they did too, and the chapter's closed. That's okay. It's okay to miss them. It's okay to wish things had gone differently. Missing someone doesn't mean you made a mistake, it just means you cared. In energetic terms, relationships are like frequencies. When you grow, your frequency shifts. If someone isn't evolving in the same direction, the resonance between the two of you start to wobble. And it might be subtle at first. Conversations feel different. Maybe your priorities don't quite align anymore. You can feel it in your body. The text that you hesitate to answer, the plans that keep getting postponed, the way you walk away from time together feeling drained instead of nourished, that is your body letting you know that the energy here has changed. Sometimes both people feel it, and you just part naturally. Other times, one person holds on longer, hoping to recreate what was. But energy doesn't move backwards, it finds a new direction. And when you stop chasing the old dynamic, you'll make room for something new to find you. Here's the thing, this isn't a rare situation. It actually is something that happens all the time. It's the nature of relationships. Some grow with us and others grow away from us. But lately, I've noticed a definite uptick that I'm seeing with my clients. I'm seeing more friendships ending suddenly, more distance appearing where there used to be ease, and more people saying, I don't know what happened. I think this has a lot to do with the rapid evolution we're collectively experiencing on this planet right now. The energy on Earth is changing fast, and consciousness is rapidly rising. We're becoming more aware of what's real, what's authentic, and what's not. And not everyone evolves at the same pace or even in the same direction. So it's natural that what once felt like a solid long-term friendship can suddenly feel off. Not wrong, just different. And as we grow and shift spiritually, we start to notice what aligns with us and what doesn't. We become more sensitive to energy and more attuned to truth. And that means it's time to sift through what we carry forward and what we must lovingly set down. This process can be painful, but it's also profoundly necessary because holding on to what no longer resonates keeps you anchored in an old version of yourself. And the next version, the one that's waiting to unfold within you, it needs space to breathe. You can't step into your new frequency while you're dragging your past behind you. So, these endings, as uncomfortable as they are actually evidence of growth. It's proof that your vibration is shifting and proof that you're listening to your soul. Human design can also explain why certain friendships feel easy and others feel karmic. When someone has a defined center in their quantum human design chart, that part of their energy is steady and consistent. It's just how they're wired. When you meet someone whose energy blends well with yours, meaning their defined centers harmonize with your own, the connection often feels natural and effortless. You feel seen, safe, and understood. But open centers work differently. Open centers take in and amplify energy from the people around you. And that's what makes some connections feel so magnetic, like you literally light up in their presence. The challenge is that can also create dependency. You might feel like you need that person to feel balanced or complete because their energy temporarily fills in what you don't hold consistently on your own. Recognizing this can help you understand that the intensity isn't always soulmates or destiny. It's more about mechanics. And when you start owning your own energy again, you naturally release the patterns of overholding or overgiving that once kept you tied. Sometimes love changes form. There's a quiet power in blessing what's complete, to say, thank you for who you were in my life and thank you for what we shared. This gratitude doesn't always need to be shared out loud. Sometimes it's enough to hold it quietly in your heart, to simply acknowledge what that person meant to you. When you can appreciate what was without needing to keep the connection alive, you will release both of you from the past. You can carry the love forward without carrying the attachment. Love doesn't disappear when people go separate ways. It just changes shape. It's okay to love someone and still let them go. After a friendship ends, there's often silence. That in-between space, and it can feel lonely, even if the ending was mutual. But this is also fertile. It's where you rediscover yourself outside of that dynamic, your routines and your preferences. Once your energy is unentangled, you will start to notice what fills you up again. You'll reclaim the parts of yourself that got tucked away to fit the friendship's rhythm. Eventually, new connections arrive. People who match your current vibration. Conversations will feel effortless again. And guess what? You don't have to search for them. They will appear when the space is clear. That's how alignment works. And when you release what no longer fits, you magnetize what does. There can be grace in endings. And here's the thing that most of us forget. Endings are part of love. They always have been. We can love someone deeply and still outgrow the container that once held that love. We can wish them well from afar and still feel gratitude every time their name crosses our mind. Letting go doesn't have to erase the story. It can simply allow it to rest where it belongs, in the past, honored and complete. Every person you've ever loved becomes part of your energy field. They don't vanish, they integrate. You carry their laughter, their lessons, their influence, and they carry a little of you too. That's the quiet legacy of connection. If you're in a season where friendships are shifting, I want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're evolving. And sometimes evolution looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like choosing peace over closeness. You're allowed to outgrow dynamics that once defined you. You're allowed to let people go without making them the villain or yourself a failure. Because ultimately, friendship isn't measured by duration. It's measured by depth, by honesty, and by the imprint it leaves on your becoming. As you move through changes in your connections, trust your timing. Trust what your body is telling you, and trust that every ending creates space for something new to grow. And remember, love doesn't end, it transforms, just like all energy. Until next time, may you honor the connections that have shaped you, release the ones that have completed their purpose, and stay open to the ones that are on their way. Take what you've heard today even further by joining my newsletter community. Each week, you'll receive journal prompts and reflections connected to the episode that are designed to guide you in bringing these conversations off the podcast and into your own journey. Let's keep going deeper together. The link is waiting for you below.